Hello everyone. Today we're in a beautiful city, Ontario, California, and I'm visiting one of my first and favorite customer, Derlene and Bella. And I'm so happy to introduce you to them. Let's go. Look at this bike. Beautiful. It still has our old logo on it. Can you imagine? And it looks great. Wow, let's go. Hello, Darlene.
Hi,
Hey,
guys.
Bella. Hello.
I kept coming here for you guys to say
Wow.
hi. Come on in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a seat.
Hello.
Look at that.
That's for you.
so nice. Thank you.
And some treats for your family.
Oh,
As
let me
always.
hide these from her.
For now, at least.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Bella.
Look.
How are you? Hello again.
High five. Hi. Do you like them? Beautiful. Smell them. Smell the roses. Nice. Say thank you, Belle.
Thank you for having me. Today it's a very special day for me because we met like 4 years ago at our location in Azusa, and I didn't expect being in your home after 4 years.
Yeah, well, we've become friends over the years.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy to have you here. Well, it's been a journey, definitely. Our bike will turn 4 this Halloween. And I will say in a little while, I will bring my daughter Bella out. But we bought the bike for our daughter, who is now 16. She was almost 14. So she met you when she was 13.
Right.
Turned 14 later that year. We got it for her, not only for her birthday, but Bella is our first child. And she was the first to start our whole family. And Bella was born with Down syndrome. And then shortly before her 5th birthday, she was officially diagnosed with autism as well, which I didn't even know could happen. But it did. And quite frankly, there are a lot of people that have a dual diagnosis.
But you told me even the number.
Yeah, so 1 in 700 approximately are born with Down syndrome.
Right.
I couldn't give you a number for the dual diagnosis, but you hear about autism, the prevalence of it occurring every day, especially like in the news. The number just keeps becoming higher and higher. We don't know why. The scientists still don't know why. But it's a range. They call it a spectrum. And so Alex, my husband, and I have been big advocates in helping people understand, because we've been learning ourselves, right? Nobody gives you a guidebook to become a parent.
Right.
And we've just hit our 20-year dating anniversary. So we've been boyfriend and girlfriend for 20 years. And then we grew up together, right? We got together at the very end of high school, did college together. He went on to become a paramedic. We had children. I went to school after the kids. He encouraged me to pursue my goals, and he knew that I wasn't the type to not do anything, and he wanted me to continue what I was always wanting to do, which was work in radio. And quick side note, really quick, one day he took me on a date, because we always did our little dates. And we went to lunch in Huntington Beach, and I just thought, oh, cool. And he actually surprised me and took me to a radio school that he had arranged an appointment with so that I can check it out.
Wow.
And I had already had Bella and our second son. And we were very surprised. We didn't know that Bella would have Down syndrome when she was born. So we found out as the baby came out. Then the doctor told him she has a lot of characteristics for someone that has Down syndrome. And so after testing came back and confirmed that she had the extra chromosome in her 21st pair, which is how Down syndrome occurs, trisomy 21, scientific name, we were like, what do? We don't even know how to parent any baby at all. And now a baby that has several special needs. It was overwhelming. I think that's when life proved to us that you can make every plan and think that you have it all under control, but life has other plans, right? And so
Incredible.
we were able to learn as much as we could. You kind of become obsessed at that point. You start, what does this mean? What what other chromosomal abnormalities are there, what therapies are. You meet parents at appointments, and from there you either hide in a shell or you go all out. And I understand why other people would want to hide in a shell. It's very lonely. It's very difficult to get used to having your child grow up with a disability. One of my favorite quotes that I've learned to love over time is that the disability isn't the problem, the accessibility is. Because this world, we're very blessed to be able to communicate, simply communicate, right? Using our words, using our gestures. Someone like my daughter, who you will see later on in the interview, she doesn't communicate like that. What I wish people would understand is that just because she doesn't communicate the way we do, she still feels, she still empathizes. Like, Bella is the biggest vibe reader. She will feel your vibe, and if it's not a good one, she will act like it isn't a good one. And I love that about her. I love that she has no filter. I think we all live with the filter, and we would be better people if we didn't, right? Like filters nowadays on Instagram, for example, you don't even look the same. It's
Exactly.
like, come on, who are you? And so Bella is 100% authentically her. People may not understand it, but Alex and I have really put ourselves out there to try to spread the word as best as we can, and not only educate ourselves, but educate our family, educate our friends, our community. And so through the years, it's been one thing after another, as life tends to be. But one night, Alex was scrolling on his phone, and I was already asleep because I work very early mornings on Coast 103.5 with L&K. And so I have to be up, I have to hit the road by 4 a.m. to make it out to Burbank. And just to give you some perspective, right now we're sitting in my living room in Ontario, California. A lot of the people that reach out to me for the bike, they think I'm in Ontario, Canada, because it's Ontario, CA.
Right.
But let's just make this clear.
As a
Ontario,
statement.
California. I'm 5 minutes away from Ontario International Airport, and driving distance, which it's still a long distance, but everywhere in LA takes you at least an hour plus to get to, right?
True.
So I drive early, and point being is that Alex was on his phone scrolling one night, and he woke me up, and I was annoyed. I'm like, why would you wake me up? I have to be up in a while. And he's like, I just found something we need to buy. It was the bike.
I remember.
And I was so excited I couldn't sleep. And we were scrolling through your website. We were like, how have we never heard of this? Another family who we have come to learn through the years, we have found that several support groups online, we don't even know these people, but we live similar lives. And so we like to share helpful tips, right? And so it was someone who shared that on the support group on the Facebook page that we're a part of. And he was like, I'm ready to order it right now. It was about 3 a.m. I'm like, hold on. That's a big purchase. Hold on. Yes, we definitely want a bike like this. And mind you, e-bikes go for thousands of dollars, the same price that you can get this cargo bike for, right?
Right.
And so we had been shopping for years looking at several options, but there was never a perfect option. And this
You
bike...
either had probably an option with a rear carrier that you have to put Bella
Right.
in the back, which was not...
No, and she, when she
case.
was a toddler, it worked out to have that attachment, right? That was awesome. She loved it. We loved it. But, kids are going to grow. And she was 13, going on 14, puberty, teenager, like full on, every year growing bigger and bigger, changing. So we knew that something needed to be strong enough, secure enough, safe enough. And also, I didn't want her behind me. I needed to see her. That was just not an option. And so I'm telling you, when it came down to checking all the boxes off, it was like, okay, not only can we include her now with family bike rides, because we live in a nice neighborhood where we can actually bike ride. There's a bike trail not too far from here that takes you all along the foothills. We never had that option. Again, it wasn't the disability, it was the accessibility.
Accessibility.
And so finding something that was, without even like drawing it out on a napkin, it was just like there, made for us. We were like, we don't know how we're going to come up with the money, but we'll figure it out. And another justification, because a lot of people, when they start doing their research and they're like, we need this bike. Well, sometimes it's out of means for some people, right? And it was out of means for us, but we found tons of justification through, I'm never going to have to buy her own car, right? She's going to be a forever child, and that's what our community calls it. Me and my husband will be forever parents. We don't have that experience of our kids going off to college and leaving, right? Our sons, hopefully, but for Bella, Bella will always be with us. And so this was a forever purchase over time. This was a purchase that was going to extend all of our quality of lives and give us moments to bond and take it with us camping. You know, we take it to Malibu every year. So when you see it, it's 4 years old, but it's also been through a lot. Like there's little nicks and scratches and dents and stuff, but it's just a part of what we do with her now. And I'm so happy that we found it and that Bella has been so happy with it. You know, she wants to hear, she just sits there, rocks, vibes out. Like either Alex or we both ride it. We've taken our grandparents for rides. We've taken my parents for rides. Now that we have a toddler, we had a baby 2 years ago. It's awesome to have baby strapped, helmet, Bella sitting across, taking them for a ride. My teenager son riding on his bike separately. I mean, technically he could fit, but he has his own bike. And then Alex. And there's no other experience that I can remember where we're outdoors doing something, taking it all in, right? And just enjoying it. And so I invite our friends all the time, come over, I'll give you a ride, let's go.
Yes.
Or Alex's grandma, my husband's grandma, she passed last year, but she was 92 years old and she had Alzheimer's. And so for the last 2 years, she moved in with family, and we got to hang out with her and be with her for the last few years of her life. And Grandma Lydia, she was a firecracker. She was bored, you know, she wanted to go out and socialize and have some margaritas up until the very end. And we had to stop her at some point, but we were able to take her for rides on the bike.
I saw that
She
video.
loved that bike. And so, you know, 90 plus years old, there's no ages. And
It's
so,
all inside.
yeah, when we take it camping, it's the hottest thing on the campground. We put lights on it. We try to decorate it for 4th of July. Like right now, the springtime, we put some flowers on it. It's just been such a fun addition to our family. And we're all about fun. Like our nickname here, because things always happen, crazy and unaccounted for, because that's what life is, right? But we are known by other families as the Casa de Locos. And in Spanish, that means house of crazy people.
Okay.
But, you know, we embrace it. I just am grateful that we have such a huge supportive family. People know Bella. Like one time we were spotted. She's like a popular little girl that doesn't even talk to people, and people will recognize her. We were riding up here off this main street, and someone honked and stopped and said, "Is that Bella?" I was like, "Of
Is that
course."
famous Bella?
Because they coincide. They see the bike. Nobody else has a bike like that around here. Even though I'm like, you know what? We need to just put a big like poster on the side of it, and so people can, because we get asked all the time, what is this? What kind of bike is that? That's so cool. Or when they have car shows, we take it down, ride it for the car show, and we get more attention than the actual cars.
Exactly.
So it's just so fun, and I'm happy that we were able to pull it off.
Interesting.
And one of my passions is to let families know that, you know, the cost of living is crazy right now. I understand that. Food is crazy high price. Having something extra like this is a luxury, but also it can happen. And there are ways that families deserve to know. My own type of podcast that's in the works right now. And thank you for always supporting us and our family and things that we are involved with, because that is what I want to share on my podcast. You want a bike? Let me show you how. You want a special bed that covers and has a camera, and you can, like, it's thousands of dollars. I can help you get the insurance to cover it. There are several ways, but the world we live in doesn't make it easy to find out how to get it. And that's, I feel, is my mission, my job, the reason why I'm Bella's mom, and the reason why people come to me for a lot of questions. And my husband, who grew up with the sister that has special needs, he knows no different. He grew up seeing the accessibility being an issue, and now his daughter has similar issues, right? And so his family has taught me so much, and we want to teach others so much. And so if you're serious about this, contact me. I will be happy to explain the process. There are ways, and even fundraising, you know.
Right.
I would buy a candy bar off of you if you were trying to raise money for a bike for your kid. If you make good salsa, sell me some. I will buy it. People get so creative now with different ways. I've seen GoFundMes. I've seen several ways, and I will tell you this: if you want it, you can make it happen.
Thank you, Darlene, for doing that. Thank you. You will become a resource for people in need. This is so important, and I really want to, help you in any way I can. And I still remember that day when you came with Alex and Bella, and I'm so grateful for not just you being as my customer. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful that you set a standard for me. You set that mission on that day. When I saw Bella inside the bike, I saw her emotions, and something clicked inside me. And from that day, I dropped other projects, and I literally, it's just a chemistry that happened inside me. I started really digging into their options for bikes with disabilities, including, the door that we have designed for that. I remember in such details, like I remember what you were wearing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so to me it was like, this was like yesterday. We just yesterday met, and now after 4 years, we're now having this conversation. I really want to thank you for that. Not just, again, purchasing a bike from us, but, showing myself and for the rest of my team that we are here for just bigger than just...
The mission is larger.
Mission is larger than just to become the famous brand of cargo bike. And this is what made Ferla, I think, successful in a way. My mission is, help people to get access to such a transportation as a cargo bike. And for me, it was so emotional at the same time when you came. And if you remember, as you mentioned, it was a large purchase for you.
Yeah.
And it was a very sudden purchase. I think Alex saw overnight, and you came like next day.
Yeah.
So you were not prepared for this. And I remember I think you gave me like 3 credit cards.
Yeah.
And we had to do some magic.
We had to split it up. That's what we did.
Yes. And at that time, I mean, I barely hold myself from my tears, and I was like, it just was a very, very magical day for me. And seeing now, Bella, she grown, and
yeah, we're still using it.
You're still using, and for you, this is not just a bike. This is essential.
Yes.
Part of the family now.
Yeah.
I know this study shows that like horse riding helps autism because of the rhythmical moves. And that's what I found in the cargo bikes. Oh. You are sitting inside of the bucket, in the front. Yeah. You are a captain or Alex. and they are developing and they're exercising their muscles. Their balance is very important.
Very, yeah.
How often you can do horse riding? I mean, if you're not, if you don't have a
Right.
rancho, right? And
Right.
so the cargo bike, to me, it could be also a replacement, not just to get it from point A to B, but actually helps develop.
Therapy.
Yeah, it is a therapy.
I would 100% agree to that. We actually use it with several different ways in her therapy, in her daily life. So now it's become a reward, right? If she wants to go for a bike ride, okay, let's do this, and then we can go for a bike ride. And not only that, her therapist, her teachers have come over to ride the bike. We used to have someone during COVID when everything was locked down, we would have an in-home therapist. They would come every day. She would take her for a ride at the end of every session because Bella knew, okay, if I do what Chrissy needs me to do, I'm going to get a bike ride, right? And definitely, it's highly therapeutic, not only for the child, for the parent or the person riding it as well. It's a fun ride, an easy ride. The fact that has that electrical component to it is amazing, and the battery can last so long. We went and took the whole family one day down the bike path to Claremont. Claremont was having a bike event, and we bumped into so many people, and it was so fun to be able to be a part of that. And I almost wish we had matching t-shirts just to say, like, this is how we roll, because it was the baby, and he was a baby. We put the car seat in there. And then Bella, my son, me, my husband, and that was probably the furthest bike ride we've ever done.
Wow.
But beyond taking it with us camping, right? We would ride it all over Malibu, and that's so much fun. That's like the best, because the views are amazing, and then you have this bike, and we take the dogs in there. The dogs go for rides. Bella's in there. It's amazing that the capacity it can carry, up to 300 pounds, right? There's no limits. Like, my dad could go in there, and I'll even use it's highly therapeutic in many ways. We've never tried the horseback riding.
Oh.
Because Bella was afraid. And in this case, she isn't. She feels safe in there. That's important. We have access, we have the accessories, so if we put the shade, or if we put what she loves is that wooden piece that carries her drink.
Table?
The table. She loves it, and I'm happy that, we took a gamble. We weren't sure if she would like it. We took the test drive. She seemed to like it right away. We broke the bank and, went in debt for a little while, paid it off over time, used different credit cards to make it happen. And I will tell you, my family, we don't come from a lot of money. And so when they found out how much I spent, they were like,
"Are you crazy?"
Yeah, they were like, "What?" And I said, "Look, you've spent more on things that you don't even have now." And they saw the value in how happy Bella was, and how she can now go with us to different places and not just have to sit in a corner watching everyone else, right? She can be included. That's why I invited her teachers to come over. I'm like, please, you have to see this bike. Please take it for a ride. I wish I could take it to every school, because it's such a reward for the child, for the student, for the teachers, to see the joy, right? I wish that in the future, like, we can incorporate these into programs. It's just been life-changing. And I'm so happy that our paths crossed. And I'm so happy that we were able to help influence in any way, movement, progress. For us, it's like the awareness is everything. It's the mission, like, that we have now in this life with our daughter. And that's the same purpose that I use every day with the job that I have. I went on to take the radio classes that Alex surprised me with one day. I got my degrees in them and got an internship at Coast 103.5, would eventually get hired full time. Had no idea I'd ever have the chance to work with an icon in radio, LNK. She moves over from working with Rick Dees and Ryan Seacrest to having her own show. First female show in LA, full blown, full speed. And then I so happened to get listed as her producer. And she allowed me to share my family and speak on behalf of the community that we belong to. And now I know that this was all meant to be. I know that this is what we're supposed to be doing, is spreading the message, helping other families, letting them know that they belong, that they don't need to be lonely anymore, that they don't need to be ashamed, that we're all here to help one another in one way or another. Even if you never want to buy the bike, just come for a bike ride. I'll give you a ride. Let's just have some fun.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Darlene.
Yeah.
You mentioned that disability is one problem, but accessibility is the main issue.
Yes.
And in fact that you are going to establish your own podcast, and your mission will be actually talking to the audience,
Yeah.
to the public,
Yeah.
and helping them to get resources. You mentioned a very interesting thing, that most of the families, they're sitting inside their homes and they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They feel abandoned, and now you're going to let people know how to get resources, how to get financials, and how to apply for those benefits that are available
Yes.
for families. And I want you to elaborate a little bit on this, because I think it's such an
Yes.
essential thing.
Of course. Well, for as long as Bella's been alive, which has been 16 years now, she just turned 16, I knew I was supposed to do more. I knew I was supposed to find a way to get the word out there, right? But again, I was learning myself. And I will tell you, amongst all the doctors that we've seen, the therapists that we've seen, the specialists that we've seen, every single person has inspired me, because I've seen all the passion and work they've put in, including you. They've put into their mission in what they do for their job, in their life, right? And I started realizing, okay, I have a lot of ideas to form these special connections. And that's
experience.
Yes, and experience, right? And so Special Connections is the name of the podcast. It's all there, ready to go. Special Connections for you on Instagram. And we are hitting the ground running. And I'm so happy that Ferla Family Bikes is going to be a strong supporter, because I, without even thinking, or I should have asked you for permission, but I will constantly talk about these bikes, right? And people already know. Like I said, one time Bella was I was riding her on the street and somebody said, "Is that Bella?" Because they saw the bike. But the mission of this podcast is to connect everyone listening, whether you have special needs or not. But if you do, if you're a caregiver to maybe someone like our grandma Lydia, who had Alzheimer's, caregivers, parents, teachers, specialists, doctors, friends, family, if you want to learn more about this special connection that we all share and how we can all help one another, that's what the show's going to be about. Every single person that has been on our path, they are going to be on the show sharing their mission, their purpose, how we can help. And then we're going to talk about solutions. I think a lot of people talk, but they don't bring a solution, right? And it's because there's too many steps. And we will share the solution on this show. How to get there, how to do this. And you know what? If we don't have the answer, we're going to do what we do best. We're going to network. We're going to ask, please, if you know anyone, contact us. And I'm just very excited to be able to connect with more people and form these special connections.
Darlene, what advice you can give to people that are listening us at the moment, and on probably they're all curious how to get a cargo bag, how to get a financial support.
Okay.
You probably already know the right direction to approach this.
Yes. The first step, there is a extensive process that you have to follow through with your regional center. And regional center, when you have someone that has a disability or a special need, they get services from regional center. There's several types depending on the area that you live in. For example, here it's Inland Regional Center. If you're in LA County or maybe San Gabriel Valley, there's East San Gabriel Valley Regional Center. Just Google regional center. If you're not familiar with what a regional center is and you have a child that has special needs, you should contact them immediately. Everything's online now, but you can call, set up an appointment, set up an assessment. Somebody will come into your home. They will interview you. They will kind of get a feel for what services your child qualifies for. And in that's where you start. Beyond that, there's a program where you can ask for self-determination, where regional center will approve you for X, Y, and Z, right? But when you want to become the case manager of your kid's case, you apply for self-determination, and that is hard. I've never even been approved for it yet. I am trying to do it because I've learned of the benefits. I've learned from other parents that have done it, and those other parents have been able to, at that point, the funds get assessed to them, and they have to prove that they're buying or spending for goods that are going to benefit their child. And that's how you can eventually get the bike. But again, big warning, flashing lights, everything. It is hard. There is a lot of steps. Again, you know that there's a lot of steps because there's even a lot of steps to get basic needs met when it comes to your child at school. So just think of like an IEP times 10.
I see.
Okay? That's kind of how I can say this to you, but to break down the difficulty and the steps that it's going to take, you will need a lot of patience. You will need a lot of knowledge from other families that have gone through it, and you can get it done. It's just you gotta follow through, and that's what I mean. There are ways to get this bike funded. Right now, I'm in a similar position with trying to get a special bed for Bella that costs $15,000. There's several beds out there on the market, but something as essential as a bed that is enclosing, self-enclosed, so she can feel like safe in her little room with the camera inside, and they would come and build it. It's a medical bed, which is why I'm sure it costs so much. And why do I need a special bed? Is she bedbound? No, but I buy her one bed every year. She has a lot of accidents. She has a lot of, after a while, the bed just is not comfortable for her. She doesn't sleep well to begin with. She takes 2 different types of sleep meds just to sleep for 6 hours. She doesn't sleep a lot. This is an issue in our community, especially for people that are experiencing a child with autism. Their mind is constantly racing. And so a large percentage of the autistic population have sleep issues, and they usually use sleep meds. And so that is the case for Bella. Now, I don't have $15,000 to just buy the bed. So I started asking questions. I started networking, again, the special connections amongst other families and showing me how they were able to get it. Their insurance covered it after getting documentation proven that like this is necessary. And this bed is kind of like, pretend like a big tent over the bed. And it's almost like her own space, her own room in a sense.
Same goes for the rain canopy you mentioned that she likes when it's something.
Yes, that's why she likes the canopy
Enclosed.
over on the bike, because it's enclosing. It makes her feel safe. It's never going to go away. So you need to figure something out.
Definitely. Well, I hope government or agencies from them will also
Yes.
see this.
Yes.
And we all hope for better benefits, better
Definitely.
support.
I will say this. The state of California has probably the most benefits ever, like out of any state. We live in an expensive state, but we also, people don't know this, we are entitled to a lot more than other states. And if you're wondering what, please reach out to me. I didn't know that. So there's a reason why, beyond it being beautiful SoCal, but there's a reason why California has its benefits.
For sure. And you have to apply. You have to go through the process.
Yes. But every state has these programs I'm talking about.
Definitely.
I just haven't heard of a state that covers as much as California.
Yes. As I mentioned again outside of this interview, I am surprised that in particular this year and the previous year, we started getting a lot of funds from the government.
Okay.
And our customers, they obviously apply for the program, and the way it works, we're getting checks from the government.
We're still using checks these days.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, that's great to know.
Yeah, we hear the feedback that the particular customer has applied for this program, and up on a sudden, after several weeks, sometimes a month, we're getting check. We always try to give a discount, or if there is a limit on that funding particular, but they still need a door, we always supply that. Same was for your purchase. But I'm seeing that more often.
Yeah.
And I hope it will be even more.
I'm happy to hear that, because that means people are learning and they're following through, and they're at least knowing that it exists. And that's where it starts. We have to get very creative, and there's no stopping that. We'll do anything for our kids.
I can see that. I can see that. So, Darlene, I want to talk about the Ferla bike that you have for a little. Can you please maybe share with me and with the audience, what would you like to see in the future? Maybe, as you mentioned, something like very enclosed would be very beneficial. Maybe a special seating position. I want to give you a voice, and
I have ideas right away. Speakers, because they love my daughter loves music, so I usually play it off of my phone or a Bluetooth speaker. But she's prone to wanting to be right next to the speaker. So, like boats,
right?
How they have those speakers that hang on the bars.
Yeah,
speakers like that.
Very loud speakers. Yeah.
At least options, right?
Right.
Or you could even have the garden speakers where they're enclosed at the bottom.
Okay.
Because the vibration, she would love that. Everything is sensory for her.
Rhythmical again.
Yes. So music would be a nice addition. Maybe an app to correlate with the bike. So you can check stats like, do I need to charge the battery? Where's the bike located?
Okay.
A bike locator, right? Because right now we plugged in an Apple tag, right?
Right.
And
like a GPS.
Yeah. And then also a built-in bike lock. So I will say
security
upgrades, fun upgrades like the speakers, everything's on an app now, right? And what else was there that I always thought about? Oh, I don't know if this is even an option, but who knows? Is there some type of solar panel plug-in, to just keep the bike going a little longer? Those are some of my ideas.
Or an additional battery that a plug and play under the seat could maybe help.
Yeah. And then maybe some really gnarly wheels, big wheels. Big wheels. Because I feel
We're in California.
Yes.
You're going to Malibu.
And one time on the bike trail, here are some stories that people ask me about that all the time that are looking into buying this bike.
Right.
It was one of the first few times we took the bike trail. So happy. We're this is awesome. This is what we've always wanted. Then I felt the bike get heavy. And I'm like, what happened? That we didn't see these thorns filled the bike path.
Wow.
The wheels got filled with these huge thorns and popped all three wheels at the same time.
Really?
Luckily, there was a bike shop that I was able to walk the bike to, and $150 later they replaced all the tires, But they also taught me about like this glue that you put inside so that if you get thorns again, but with the amount of thorns, it still would have went through with that stuff. But I wish I would have known that, because I was just like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, that was so crazy to me. And now I'm always like scoping out the area. Like, is there bike thorns? But I'm telling you, we take it everywhere. We take it. The only place I haven't tried yet, and I'm curious to try, is kind of like a hiking trail.
I see.
And I see so many people with e-bikes on those
E-bikes.
trails. I wouldn't take Bella on there yet until I got more familiar with it. But I mean, that's what I mean, like gnarly giant wheels.
We're working on this. We're getting a lot of requests.
Yeah. Like I said, it checked all the boxes. And I get asked all the time. There's a family right now they want to spend their tax return on getting a bike, right?
Unbelievable.
And I said, well, perfect. That's what you should do. You're going to have years of use with this. And their daughter went to school with Bella. And so we've kept in touch through the years. But several families just constantly, it's a dream purchase. And it's definitely worth it.
It's a Christmas gift.
It is. But you're going to be glad that you did it. And whether you choose to self-fund, use different credit cards like we did, or fundraise, or go through those steps to get it funded. I'm hearing that there's other stuff too, but I don't see people. I do brag, but I brag because I know it can help other people. I don't see the same type of bragging happening for the other types of bikes that I've seen out there, which tells me that there's other issues. And I can tell you firsthand, like people from out of state that reach out to me, I'm like, I live 5 miles from the airport. I can pick you up on the bike if you really want to come check it out. Like, we are always willing to give test drives and let other people see it.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
To me.
You guys ready to try to get Bella out here?
Yeah, I would love to see
Okay, let me
Bella.
get her. You want to tell me I want chips? I want chips.
Chips.
Okay. I want
more chips.
She even added the more in there.
More?
Here you go. I'll take this from you. And then she goes to YouTube. She loves ASMR videos. Do you know what those are?
No?
Let me show you.
Sure.
ASMR videos is food. It's videos of people eating and the sounds.
Crunchy.
Yep. She can work this thing better than I can.
She's watching you like,
I
Mom,
know.
you don't know what you're doing.
I know.
Give me...
Show us which one you like. Which is the ASMR that you like? I don't know. It's like a whole thing that... Especially this guy, Jerry, whoever Jerry is.
She's making fun of Mom. Like,
Jerry is the guy that she loves watching on YouTube. And he does...
she can go to... like
she finds videos...
herself.
I don't know how.
Typing.
No, she doesn't know how to spell.
No, I mean, like how
She
to...
finds them, I don't know how. So here's one of her famous videos. Jerry eating a McFlurry and fries from McDonald's. But it's soothing to her. She loves the sounds. And she loves French fries, but veggie straws, for the win.
More healthier.
That's how I bribed her to come out here. Yep. Is that funny?
Nice.
Yeah, nice. No, nice is one word that she can say when she's being nice. Do you want to go on the bike after? Yeah? Here, I'll take this from you. So this is Bella.
Hey, Bella. You remember me?
Say hi. Let me clean her mouth. Let me clean this mouth.
No!
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. You want to go for a bike ride? All right. What's the matter? What's the matter?
I want more chips.
Back to Jerry. Now Jerry's eating a vanilla cone. So,
Darlene, when I met her 4 years ago, she had a lot of movement. Is it now a lot less?
when it was an interesting time when we met. She was 13 going on 14. School stopped for her, which really was difficult for her. Her routine stopped. Routines are everything. She gained a lot of weight. She went through puberty. She didn't really go back to school until maybe a year and a half ago, like going on 2 years, where the routine started to pick up again. And so
She needs to release that energy.
she does, yeah, definitely. So it's not that she's immobile, it's that she needs to build her endurance back up. We're going to wait on this, okay? You're going to finish your chips? All right. She does go to a pretty cool high school, though, that has a swimming pool, and they get creative.
Is it a special needs high school?
So it's a regular high school with a special needs program so that they're integrated with the student body, which is very important.
Wow.
Probably the biggest in the district. And I will say she's probably, they've catered to her needs. They've created her like her own special corner so that if she's overly stimulated, for example, which happens, I mean, we all get overly stimulated at some point.
True.
But example, parties. Like if we want to go to a party, we know it's going to be a rager. It might not be the best area for me to take her to because this is something that I didn't learn about until having a child with autism and Down syndrome, but this is more of an autistic thing. There's a book that someone with autism was able to write, and people asked this guy questions on how it feels to have autism. And it was so interesting. He said, it feels like when you enter a room, when you're overly stimulated, it feels like there's different TVs and radios on all different frequencies, and it's too much. And that gave me such a helpful vision to imagine what that feels like, that my husband encouraged me to let it be okay. Like, there's going to be some things she's not going to like. I always wanted to force her, like, you have to come with us, you know,
Right.
you be with us, go with us. And I finally had to learn myself that it wasn't going to be, she was not going to like it. It was not enjoyable for her. Yeah, so certain times, like even for example, going to theme parks, I wanted to experience that with her. I wanted to see maybe she might like the carousel or she might, but again, the crowds, the environment, it's all very stressful for her. And so I have to, it's more of like my husband tells me, you need to be okay with it because she's okay with it. You need to do what's going to make her happy.
Darlene, I always wanted to ask you, do you think this bike can replace a wheelchair?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like going to the park, I think Bella at her 16, she could feel that, you know, she could feel that it's very special to be on the bike versus going on the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, you know, the wheelchair to me personally, it has a little bit different
Yeah,
vibrance.
definitely.
Compared to a cool
You're
bike.
very open.
Right. It's just even a look and representation
Yes,
of
yes.
it, right?
And it's not very comfortable, if we're being honest. But yes, we have a wheelchair for her. And I can definitely see, and I wish that we could take the bike to a theme park. I think she would be able to manage it better, knowing she has her own space, right? I do see with modifications that it can easily be something that can replace a wheelchair. Like I said, our 90-year-old grandma at the time was able to get on it. It would have to have a wider door, maybe the entire front open, so that you can get them in. But
you just read my mind. Exactly.
Definitely.
You just mentioned, I wish we can bring the cargo bike to the park. I immediately thought about challenges of the transportation of this bike, right?
Yeah.
So that's your main challenge. I mean, if you could easily access the park, you would probably take the bike every single time.
Right.
And this is what we are working on it right
Okay.
now, is on that, easygoing carrier for our cargo bikes.
Here's an idea that Alex's sister, for example, she has cerebral palsy. She has a motorized wheelchair. Maybe a mini version, cargo edition, that doesn't go too fast, that they can sit on, but you control it. Because again, the parent or the person riding will benefit from it. And then that way they can, because she's always had an issue where she does get tired after maybe walking a couple blocks, right? So we always have to consider that. Like, can she handle the walk? If there's a parade happening down the street, or if there's the car show that we want to go to.
What about being in a bike for her?
Yeah, no, that's where the bike is. That's where we use that. But for example, if we wanted her to get some steps in, and then we're like, okay, well, we can make her walk to there. And what we've done in the past is we've loaded the bike with like chairs, equipment to build our little camp out for the parade that we have for 4th of July. We put all the equipment in there, and then we'll have her walk there. And then we carry all of the stuff to have her set up, table, chairs, ice chest, dogs, right? And then we know, like, okay, she doesn't have to worry about it coming back. Because she has enough stamina to get there. She doesn't have enough stamina to get back. So there's, I'm telling you, you just get very creative having access to something like this. And then even grandma too, if she were tired, we'll ride you back, or we'll take you to your car. Maybe even a little nice addition to your date night. Like, you want to go for a little bike ride? Decorate it really cute. It's just, there's so many options,
Yeah, I think we're having a customer down in Santa Monica. They using pretty often to go for dinner nights, where they can take a couple drinks, and not to worry about getting a DUI and riding a bike together. So.
That's funny. That's smart. Yeah, there's like a little local downtown area that we can ride to, and they have a farmer's market, and it's just those little things that weren't so easy to do before.
What's your favorite subject in
Music.
school? Music.
Oh, in school? Boys.
Really?
We just found out she has a boyfriend. You want to tell us about Dominic?
That's wonderful.
No, I would say she's very motivated by music, but she also is extremely motivated by technology. So because she uses the iPad for several things, something like this app, and this would fall under the category of English, I guess, because it's learning how to spell her words. The Writing Wizard is one of them. And, I mean, you can... She uses this with her speech therapist, right? But if with a lot of work, she can write her name, and they use this to practice.
Wow, so interactive.
Yes. She's very motivated by technology and the iPad and apps. And so I would have to
I love this app a lot.
choose that. Yeah. Maybe build an iPad in the bike. Oh man, they'll never want to get out of that thing. We're going to do anything that she needs, so she's good.
She's in the good hands.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You want to go for a ride? You want to go for a bike ride?
Darlene, I want to say thank you again. It was one of the most informative interview that I've been.
Good.
I really believe that people will learn a lot from it, and we're looking forward for your podcast. We're looking forward to support you.
Thank you.
In any way, and as we discussed before, we are willing to grant you a bike that will eventually go for a person in need.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. We have a lot of work then to get to. Thank you so much,
Definitely,
Ferris.
yes. We I'm sure you will select the right candidate. It's very important for us that the bike will be, used in a proper way.
Yes.
And I have all the trust in you, and what you're doing. It's brilliant. It's exceptional. And please keep doing what you do. I think we need more people. We need more people on this planet like you to make it a little bit better.
Thank you.
You
too, Ferris. Your bikes, you're bringing your vision over here and changing a lot of people's lives. You've been a blessing to our family and to many other families, and very inspiring. You're constantly reinventing the wheel, finding ways to improve others' lives, and you're making a huge difference with what you're doing. You don't need to. You're doing fine, but you're always thinking of other people, and that's why we've stayed friends. It wasn't just a business transaction. It was like we just stayed friends. We stayed connected. We stayed updating one another, and I haven't seen you in 4 years, but it feels like we just picked up right where we left off, because the care, the bedside manner, the customer service that we've received, which, by the way, no one finds good customer service anymore. So when you get the service that you get from the company, that stands out. The care that the company gives the families, especially families like mine, it does not go unnoticed, and I will always push and support what you have going on too, because I know that you're not just doing it just to make a profit. You're doing it to change people's lives, and I value that. I think that's where we've always seen eye to eye, and it was important to me to get the bike no matter what, even if I didn't have it all up front, like find a way to do it. And I'm beyond excited to be able to bless a family that it can change their lives too. Going forward, right? Not something that they're just gonna not use, sit in the corner and collect dust. But they're gonna be able to enjoy their family together in a bike, going places, experiencing new memories. And that at the end of it all, that's all we have left, right? So thank you so much. I'm so happy you joined us, came to our house, and this is just the first of many. I'm happy to do an update in another 4 years when the bike is 8 years old.
Thank you, Darlene. It's
Yes.
been an honor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Did you realize that we still have a old logo?
Yeah, I did.
I was like, nostalgia.
Yeah, right? That's our trailer, see?
For the bike,
Uh-huh.
specifically, unbelievable.
Went to Malibu. It flew off on the 101. Want to go in with her?
I
No.
would love to. She wants.
Okay.
I would love to sit right there. Hey. Bella, how do you like it? Yeah. Good.
Fun?
This man created it.
Thank
It's just online?
Yeah,
What's it called?
Ferla. Ferla. Ferla.
Ferla.
Ferla. Yes.
What do you charge for it?
Oh, it starts from all the way from 3,500 and up. It's electric.
Oh, it's electric?
It's electric. Yeah.
This is fantastic. I'll take you for a ride anytime. Oh, please. Isn't that great?
Oh, that's the reaction you get all the time.
Ta-da!